design director at Hasbro, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about who my favorite toy is, and then I'm going to let everyone go down the panel and talk about who they are and then what their favorite toy is. So again, Michelino, and my favorite toy is Megatron. Anyone? Anyone else? Huh? Oh, of course, G1, the original, only. So I'm going to pass it off to my friends on the table here, and I'm going to sit down. So.
Hi, my name's Lenny Panzik. I'm the design manager on the Transformers team. I work predominantly on movie, and my favorite Transformer, I have to say, is probably the most heroic of them all. Dinobot from Beast Wars.
I'm Short Hasui, Takarato designer. My favorite Transformer is Bruticus.
Hi, I'm Sean Carmen-Isabella. I'm a senior designer on RID, and my favorite Transformer toy is the G1 Aerial Bots.
I'm Takashi Kunishiro, Takarato Transformer designer. My favorite Transformer is he, Optimus Prime.
Hi, my name is Daizo. I'm a VP of Design and Development at Hasbro, and actually a translator for today for Toronto great designers. My favorite Transformer character is Galvatron.
Hi everybody, I'm John Warden, Senior Design Manager on Transformers. I work on Generations, and my favorite Transformer is G1 Roadbuster.
Hi, I'm Yoke. I prefer whatever that is in front of me.
His favorite is whatever's in front of him.
All right, so thank you everyone, and again, thank you for all the awesome product that I think our fans out here are excited to see, and also all the awesome product that we've given them over the years. So first off, we're going to talk a little bit about how we develop a product based around story, and I'm going to let Lenny talk a little bit about that. And one of the things that the team has the ability to do is to work with Paramount in the studio, and we read the scripts and we actually see how the movie is coming, what the movie's going to look like, and then from that the team goes ahead and takes some ideas and then brings them into product and into toy. So Lenny had the great opportunity to work on Transformers the last night, and he's going to talk a little bit about two of the items that he worked on to give you some insight on how we design and develop product from movie into these great toys.
So the two lines I'm going to take you guys through today is Allspark Tech was a brand new experience for us, and the Knight Armor Turbo Changers. Both are really cool experiences, and they allow us to dive into the character, which is with our Allspark Tech, and it allows us to dive into the battle play with our Knight Armor features. So to show you up first the Allspark Tech, I'm going to show you guys a quick commercial because it's brand new to give you guys a quick idea of what it does.
Transformers the last night. The Allspark is a source of cosmic power that is more than meets the eye. The Allspark Cube can bring your Allspark figure to life with motion-activated lights and sounds. And one cube can recognize any Allspark Tech figure. Optimus Prime with Allspark Cube, other figures each sold separately.
We're super excited about these guys because it allows us to really dive into Transformers and the spark that brings them to life. And literally, this cube, this 1" by 1" cube, brings all the characters to life. And not only does it work in Optimus Prime, it works in every single character with a signature sound. So as it goes into each character, it'll bring that character to life by saying their name and then saying a slogan that they say.
Hey, Lenny, can you maybe make one of our figures come to life here?
Sure can. So what's awesome is they literally open up their chest, and then you put the cube inside my chest, right? Like in the movies. And when you do that, it'll light up. Oh yeah, well, I'm Optimus Prime.
I'll take you all on.
Yeah. So like Optimus, he's got an attitude, right? And what's cool is, I can take him out, put him into, we all know this guy. And I wonder who did the voice for that guy. So then it goes across each character, giving them each their unique sounds. And the cube itself is smart enough to know who it's inside of. And just to show you guys a quick how the cube actually works, it's a pretty detailed little piece of computing. Inside of it, we have Bluetooth, we have a computer, we have a speaker, we have LEDs, we have a lithium battery that's rechargeable that allows you to have extended play. And we needed that because of the brains that's going inside this guy, because he knows each and every single character. He has to have a really deep memory bank to know who he's playing with. Also, with the design of it, you can see up there, we tried a couple of different designs. We're like, do we want to go last night with it, with making it look very Merlin and King Arthur, or do we want to go simplistic? Ultimately, we found something in the middle that feels very Cybertronian, but at the same time, very King Arthurian.
Is that a real word, King Arthur?
It is. It's a type of literature, Arthurian literature. Yeah. There you go. So, beyond that, the cube had to fit inside of the figure, and that's a lot of undertaking for a Transformer. And as you can see here, that's actually an exploded view of the parts for this figure, which we had to really break down how these guys would go together, how they would transform, because we're fitting a cube inside of a Transformer. And on a Transformer, when you create transformation, you want to fit everything inside, so we've already eliminated an inch-by-inch space of area we can use for transformation. So we had to figure that all out. Beyond that, we had to figure out how they would get clipped inside. So we wanted to have a nice feel. When you guys see these in the convention, you'll be able to actually play with them and feel how the cube actually almost gets pulled inside. There's not even a magnet in there, it's just a kind of plastically used to do it. So pretty excited with how that works. So beyond that, this shows you the transformation and how we thought that out after putting the figure together. Sorry guys, there we go. And this kind of shows how we plan out the transformation and the aesthetic at the same time. On these guys, it's a big undertaking just because of all those electronics and a lot of back and forth. And then ultimately, because they are electronic figures, we had to figure out how the brains of it works. And this chart is actually showing what my plan was to my electronic engineer of how to make him respond. And it literally talks like, when you turn him to the left, he makes this sound. When you turn him to the right, he makes this sound. And this is like one of 20 iterations of this, because in electronic toys with responsive mechanisms, we go back and forth. It's never done the first time around. And it is a labor of love, I would definitely say. So, and that's all Spark Tech.
Awesome. Thanks, Lenny. That's some very high-tech transformation and some very cool figures there. So thanks for sharing with us that. So next up, I think we have another commercial that we're going to run. And you also worked on the last night, and you worked on some of the product on the last night. So let's run the commercial, and then we'll talk a little bit about some of the cool factors on the last night. So.
Transformers The Last Night. Legend tells of an ancient power known only as Night Armor. Take Optimus Prime from a hero to a legend. To become more than meets the eye. New Transformers Night Armor Turbo Changers. Each sold separately.
Yes.
Oh, that was a lot like the movie.
Yeah, we dove in, man. You know, we really wanted to play that up. And in the aesthetic of these figures, too, working with Takara Tomy on these, we really wanted them to feel detailed, to feel very elaborate. As you can see, the knights, how they looked in the movie, really playing up that heavy feel, really detailed. And also, we wanted to play, what is a cool feature that makes kids feel like they're playing that knight experience? And what's more knight than a helmet, right? So we took the helmet aesthetic from all the characters in the movie and played it up in a big way in the toy. And on this next slide, you'll see our turbo changers are awesome. It's a one-step change that transforms immediately, gets you into battle action play, crash and bash with your figures, but then we want to take it to the next level, and this is with the helmet. And we worked with Hasui's son to kind of figure this out.
Yeah, so Hasui, why don't you tell our fans here a little bit about the mechanism and how you had to design the mechanism to fit Lenny's designs.
このアイテムは、頭の変形というのフィーチャーとマスコンフィーチャーと そして変化するということに対して2つのフィーチャーを簡単な変化をするという2つのフィーチャーを入れなくちゃいけなかったんですが、その2つの変化を同時に入れるということがすごく難しかったですね。
You guys get that?
Guys, let me chime in here. So, biggest challenge for him as a designer to actually accomplish the challenge is actually two things. So, within making a transformation possible, we still have to design in the head feature with enough of a clearance so that it won't actually get in the way while it's transforming. So, making those two things happen at the same time within one toy, that was the biggest challenge for him.
Great. Well, thank you for figuring it out, because I think with that we had some amazing ideas and some amazing toys. So let's take a look at some of the helmets that you designed.
So part of the collaboration is figuring out what these guys are actually going to look like, and this plays really big into the story. So as we saw with the knights, there's all different knights from different regions of the world. We wanted to play this up in our main character's armor that would be revealed. Edgar Surratt, actually our designer on this product line, did a really good job of diving into the character of each one. So of course on Megatron, we're going to do this evil kind of necromancer or dark wizard look to his helmet, as where on Hound we did more of a militaristic, but with a medieval twist to it. Now I know we went back and forth on these a lot, because we gave Asui-san a lot to think about with some of these designs, because we wanted to go very elaborate with the helmets so they felt big when the change actually did happen. Which you'll see on the next slide.
I designed a Bumblebee and Kunihiro designed a Grimlock.
They did an awesome job with, you can see the change between the head of the original character to when they're armored up and ready to battle. And that's it for now.
Very cool. Thank you so much for taking us through that. So next up, we're going to talk about robots in disguise. Our great robots in disguise. So we have some fans out there. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been watching the new animation. Sean's going to take us through robots in disguise, and more importantly, how the team, along with Sean and the Takara designers, really came up and worked together to talk about Combiner Force.
Thanks, Mick. So I have the great privilege to work on the Robots in Disguise toy line and work with our animation studio on this amazing series. It's really kind of a dream come true to think of as a small child watching the Transformers cartoons, but now we get to figure out the new cartoons and the new toys, because what's better than working on a cartoon show, but then figure out the toys that kind of live in that cartoon show as well. So when we started thinking about Season 3 and what Season 3 would be, we thought about what would be a great play experience that would make a great cinematic experience you could watch on your home. So Combiners was something I loved as a kid. I mentioned G1 Aerobots are my favorites. So an amazing opportunity to let's think about Combiners. So our team kind of brainstormed with the animation writers about kind of this play pattern, Combiners. So we thought about the term Combiner Force, thinking everybody coming together to being a force of good. So that's where kind of the name Combiner Force came from. So we look at, again, the Aerobots. So what's cooler than a fighter jet? A fighter jet that transforms to a robot. But what is cooler than a robot? A bunch of robots that form together to create a giant robot in Superion. So that toy was designed by some of my fellow amazing designers up here. And actually, so when this came out a couple years ago, I was really inspired. So I just did a fun drawing of Superion, because I never need more reasons to draw Transformers. But this kind of made the gears start going about why I love Combiners so much. So drawing this character and thinking about my team members up here and what they went through the design process, and now we kind of thought about reinventing Combiners for R&D. So we thought about the four main characters in R&D as almost being a superhero team. So we thought about each character have a different characteristic, and why would they come together to create a combiner? So what we did here is we started thinking about each of the characters and how they would build together to create a giant combiner. So you can see here as we started, as we go, okay, Bumblebee's the lead, so where's the lead gonna go? You know what? He should probably the chest and the head. So all these characters come together and form Ultra Bee. Bam, there we go. All right, excellent. So this is the original concept sketch we had that I did, 2 years ago? 2.5? Yeah. A long time ago, it seems.
It feels like forever.
Yeah, I know. But so you can see, it's just like the first inspiration of what we wanted to create. And then I'm very fortunate to work with amazing partners in Takara Tomy, as well as our animation team, to kind of bring this concept to life. So once we had that first character sketch, I started working with Hasui-san to think about transformation and how, because each character has 3 modes. They have the robot mode, the alt mode, and the combiner mode. So we started working hand in hand to think of that out. So Hasui-san, do you want to help explain and tell about kind of the experience working on this?
コンバイナーウォーズでは、ワンボイジャー4デラックスで一つのロボットを作ればよかったんですが、今回のこのシリーズでは一つのボイジャーぐらいの価格帯のもので、4つもしくは5つのキャラクターの、コンバインをさせなくてはいけなかったので、そこが非常に難しかったですね。限られたパーツ数の中でいかに、4つもしくは5つのキャラクターをトリプルチェンジさせるかっていうのは非常に難しかったです。
So for his previous combiner concept, he was actually creating a 1 Voyager class and 4 deluxe figures to combine into 1. But for this particular character, he almost had to accomplish to do 1 character and 4 to combine into 1 within the same price of 1 Voyager class, pretty much. So that was the biggest challenge.
I want to say thank you for working with me on this one. This is a dream come true to create a combiner together. So, yeah, so it was amazing to work with Hasui-san. But what Hasui also mentioned, a key thing we wanted from this line is we wanted any fan, big, small, 4 years to 80, to be able to walk to a store and get a full combiner box to replicate the experience I had the first Christmas that I got Devastator and Aerobots. You get the combiner in a box all at once. So that was kind of a key thing we wanted to deliver on. Another piece we wanted to really kind of explore is we had to think about the joints, because combiners need to combine together and they need to hold together. So this was some of the design exploration I did with Hasui-san as well about transformation and how those joints come together to create Ultra B. And again, a great, amazing piece about Robots in the Sky is working with our animation team. So here you can see the original concept sketch I did for Ultra B to what it finished looks like with the animation style and how it was rendered and modeled in Robots in the Skies. So you see, we went through quite a journey here.
Hey Sean, I have a question for you. In your original drawing, you have what appears to be an Energon cape.
Yes.
What happened to the Energon cape in the animation?
Well, that is a secret that's been locked away deep down in the Allspark, so I don't know, maybe we'll revisit that. I don't know, maybe a fan here will unlock it, but that's a secret for a later date.
Okay, thank you.
And then another piece we wanted to think about combiners, not just in 5 characters or 4 characters together, but what if you did 2 characters? What would that be? So here you have Prime Strong, which was Optimus Prime and Strong Arm. So they would crash to combine. So it was an experience we wanted of 2 vehicles crashing together to create a new character. So we started with a drawing of thinking about those 2 characters and how you can mix their design language. So maybe you take pieces from Strong Arm's design and place it on top of Optimus Prime's mask to kind of mix and match and think about what would happen when these 2 characters come together. So this is the first concept sketch I did for this character. And then, of course, we had to start thinking about transformation or conversion, about how those 2 characters, when they crash together, how they look and how fun that is. So you can see here some of the design exploration I did with Kunihiro-san. We wanted to make sure this was a fun experience and that you could take any character and mix and match to create your own character. Do you want to help explain some of the thinking that went into the crash to combine item?
我々は学会研究です。自動変形というものを考えるときは、我々は2つのことに気をつけます。まず第一は大きく動いて派手に動いてくれること。もう一つはすごく派手に動くときに一体どこを持ってればいいのかと。この2つでこう悩んで作っています。
So biggest challenge for him in designing this character is actually two things. Number one is the transformation to be very dynamic and big action. Number one. And second, when you do that dynamic action and transformation, which part of the toy do you hold so that when you combine and transform, your hand won't get in its way while transforming? That's the biggest challenge for it.
And I must say, I think we were pretty successful. Kunihiro, do you want to show off how these two characters combine together?
2つの合体でこちらが自動変形します。そこでどう持ってようが合体して離すと変形すると。
No matter how you hold or where you hold, when you combine and release, the transformation.
Hey, why don't we do that again? Because I think we're up on screen now. You want to do it one more time?
Okay.
Yes. Cool.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Pineapple apple.
All right. Excellent.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Kunihiro. So just again, one other piece about the Crash Combine item is we wanted to give the Transformers Robots in Disguise fan the ability to create their own combiner. So we developed a universal joint for the Crash to Combiner, so you can take any Crash to Combine character and mix and match to create your own combiner. So we spent a lot of development time, Kunihiro, myself, and other designers at Hasbro and Takara, thinking about that joint. So you can see some of the design exploration about where the joint would be, how it would affect the aesthetic of a car versus a jet versus possibly a beast or insect or any other character we want to create in the future. And so you can see here, this is how it translated into Skyhammer. Shocking, more jets in my part of the presentation, but this is Skyhammer, so this is two jet characters that combine together to create Skyhammer. And then you can see some of the design sketches I did here about, we wanted to think about how fun and how the transformation would be different for each character and each piece. That way, as you mix and match, you're going to get different transformations and different experience each time. And last but not least, I swear, this is the last jet in the presentation for me.
But not your last jet.
Not my last jet, absolutely not. I will be hopefully getting more Autobot jets, especially in the Transformers lore, till somebody tells me to stop. So you can see here the first concept sketch I did for a new character that we were doing at the Warrior class, Stormshock. So the thinking here is, I really wanted a new Autobot jet character because I love the Aerobots and Jetfire, but we want to do something new. So we thought about a fun new character that would have a red, white, and blue scheme. And as you can see here, the first concept sketch I did, and then you can see the final transformation, or final Transformers item here that I believe is in the case, so you can go take a closer look and, ask me any other questions and maybe, let me know what other jet characters you want or what jets you want. So.
Thanks, Sean. And Sean brings up a great point. All of the items that you see here, a lot of them will be in the case downstairs and we'll be floating around and walking around. So if you have any questions, definitely pull anyone aside and ask us any questions that you may have. So moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about generations and also talk, here we go, generations. But more importantly, generations, and we also have some reveals to take you through today.
Yeah, who wants some reveals?
So it wouldn't be a panel without some awesome reveals.
Generations Bisque.
That's amazing.
So before John goes ahead and gets started, we're going to talk a little bit about our Prime Wars trilogy. We had our Combiner Wars, we had our Titans Return, and now John's going to take you through the last of the trilogy, which is our Power of the Prime. So John, why don't you take it away?
So first of all, thank you fans for coming all over the place here to Providence to Hascon. It's really exciting for me to do what I do. And thank you for voting for the next Prime, which is Optimus Primal. Check out this awesome new art that showcases Optimus Primal donning the matrix of leadership and surrounded by the powerful and enigmatic Prime Masters. First up of reveals, we've got Micronus. Micronus is small in size, but he's still a god. Inside Micronus has a special power that allows him to partner with other Transformers. He's able to hide inside of decoy armor that Pretenders fans will know as Cloudburst. He's also able to transform into a cool weapon. So throughout the presentation, you're going to see lots of awesome packaging art. So big props to our awesome packaging team and the artists from around the world who collaborate with Hasbro to create some of the greatest art I think Transformers fans have ever seen. Throughout the Transformers Power of the Primes line, you're going to see lots of really cool visions of these Prime Masters in the background. So big props to the packaging team. Next up, I think we've got some exciting Dinobot fans in here, right? You guys like Dinobots? Let me introduce you to the newest Dinobot. Her name is Dinah Slash, and she's the first female Dinobot.
Woo-hoo!
We worked hard with Takara Tomy to make sure that this Dinobot actually had all the spirit and energy of the original G1 Dinobots. So she comes to life in Legend scale, so I'm proud to announce the first Legend scale reveal. Here's her awesome art. As you can see, you know, it's hard to argue with a Dinobot Raptor. Next up, I'd like to welcome to the stage my buddy Slug. The Dinobots are finally here. Not only are the Dinobots awesome and G1 accurate, but they've got a little secret that I think you guys might get excited about earlier. It's not the fire-breathing power of Slug, which is kind of incredible. I've always enjoyed that. Next up, we've got Dinobot Swoop. So awesome that you're going to have to stop by the booth to check it out. You see what I did there? Next up, we got everybody's favorite Stegosaurus, Dinobot Snarl. Incredible detail and a really, really fun transformation on this little guy.
He's got the clear plastic deluxe.
There he is, laser breathing, doing it there. It's pretty cool. Nice. Everybody's favorite Bronto. He's a bad Bronto, Dinobot Sludge. He's really cool. Awesome.
They've got the clear plastic. It totally looks like
wings, the way they're revealed, you can see very, very cool features. And when you check them out in the booth, you'll see that we even maintain that clear head on this guy, which is super awesome. But what's a Dino Man there? He shoots lasers out of his mouth too. I mean, last up, the leader of the Dinobots, the mighty Grimlock. Grimlock comes to life in Voyager class.
Boy, it looks like a masterpiece, actually.
Very posable, incredibly awesome. And he interacts with Prime Masters by attaching to his armors, which you can stop by the booth to check out. Here's his awesome halo of Prime Masters above his head as he's stomping, being Big Grimlock King.
Big Grimlock.
But you know, the Dinobots are really special to me because fans, you guys know in the audience, that all started with the Diaclone dinosaur robos. So we're lucky enough here to have Yoke-san, who was part of Takara during the inception of this. Can you tell us a little bit about that inception moment of the Dinobots?
Yes. We did brainstorming years ago. What is the most exciting thing next to Carnival? And it was not very difficult to come up with dinosaur theme. Everybody loves dinosaur?
Everybody loves dinosaurs. What else did you guys come up with around the same time as the Dinobots? Insecticons. So in the same meeting, imagine this meeting. What can we do new? Well, let's do dinosaurs. The Dinobots are born. And here we all are enjoying the Dinobots and the Insecticons in the same meeting. And who would have thought, 30 years later, here we are all at a convention talking about it. It's incredible. But one of the things that fans have always wanted about Dinobots, there's 5 of them, why aren't they a combiner?
Whoa, John, hold on, please. now, I know a lot of I know everything that happens at Hasbro and all the things that you guys are designing. How did this get under the radar? What are you showing? Wow.
Proud to announce the all-new Dinobot combiner,
Volcanicus.
Volcanicus is big, bad, and awesome. Grimlock forms the chest, Sludge forms the leg, Snarl forms another leg, and then you've got Swoop and Slug forming the arms. He's got powerful fists, and the new system of Power of the Primes actually brings into action a brand new foot joint. So you're going to have posable rocker ankles in your combiners now. We've learned a lot from the combiner system. And actually, we're privileged here on stage to have Mr. Kunihiro, who actually worked on the original combiner joint system. Mr. Kunihiro, what was the biggest challenge as you developed the combiner joint system?
我々が、合体ロボットを作るときは、ジョイントが重要です。ジョイントを気持ちよくつけたり外したりできるように工夫します。でもあまりカシッカシッつけやすいものを考えます。
So when we design, when we think about combining robots, joint system is the most important thing. And we want this joint to be having just enough of a balance. So to have enough of a friction for it to kind of hold the parts, but not too loose that it kind of falls apart. So that balance is really, really critical.
でもあまり、軽快さだけを追い求めると持ち上げると落ちます。
So once again, if you make it too loose, when you lift the robot, pieces fall apart. We don't want that to happen.
落ちないようにガシッとつけると外れません。
Once again, if you make it too tight and big friction, then you can't get it off.
そこで今回は足はがっちり止めてこちらからスライドしていけるようにして外れないようにしました。そうすると付け外しが簡単で落ちないものになります。
That's why he came up with the solution of creating a slide function for this joint. So by making it a slidable joint, it actually kills both with one stone.
So what we've done with the Dinobots, that you can sort of see, while Kunihiro-san's son was explaining this, I transformed the Dinobot into his robot mode. We've actually taken great care to hide the combiner joint this time around so that G1 fans who just want to have an awesome Dinobot can still post these guys out on shelf, and you've got kind of at last, the final team of the original 5 Dinobots, now plus 1 is 6. Next up, we've got a nice leader class reveal. Introducing the leader of the Autobots, the famous Optimus Prime. Now I have the privilege also of working with Mr. Kunihiro on this. Kunihiro-san, actually, fun fact, is actually the original designer of Star Saber. So on stage, we had the original designer of Star Saber. To me, to have a chance to work with a legend like this guy, it's, you know, as a Transformers fan, it's out of this world. But he did something amazing. He finally was able to figure out a way to have Orion Pax evolve up into Optimus Prime. This, you can imagine, this is an incredible feat of engineering. So you can see an actual G1 Orion Pax for the first time. Mr. Kunihiro-san, what was one of the most difficult things about making a deluxe class Transformer evolve up into Optimus Prime?
通常オプティマスプライムというキャラクターはフロントキャブの部分だけでロボットに変形します。しかしながら今回は後ろのトレーラー部分も含めてオプティマスプライムになるように作られています。
So normally when you think about Optimus Prime character, the front cab of the trailer actually transforms into a robot, Optimus Prime. But with this one, he needed to make the full trailer to transform into Optimus Prime character. So that was the biggest challenge, number one.
そのままオプティマスプライムは胸のウィンドウが大事なデザインです。で、フロントキャブのデザインを使うと頭に比べて小さくなりすぎます。そこで合体した時の大きな胸の用のパーツを別に用意しました。
Wow. Another thing is that the balance of the design is really important. So when you look at the Orion Pax, when you open the chest, the front, so the visor part is a little too small compared to its head. So he needed to create almost like a decoy, like a fake visor for it to have a perfect kind of form and shape when it becomes a final Optimus Prime. And when you combine, you can see with a good balance, Optimus Prime complete.
そして、彼は胸の中にマトリックスを持ってないといけないです。でもこれを開けると普通入ってるんですけども、このような機構を持ってますので、
Wow.
もう二重に開きます。
So once again, another key point of this toy was actually store the matrix inside the chest. But because of the feature and the challenge that he explained earlier, the window actually is a double window. So you open the first window, and then there's a second one, Orion Pax window, and you open that, and inside there's a matrix.
What's cool about the Matrix this time around in Power of the Primes, you can remove the crystal for the Matrix, replace it with any Prime Master from your toy collection, which is also universal across Leader Class, Voyager Class, Deluxe Class, Legends Class. And it also works with the decoy armor. So the power of the original 13 primes can come alive in your imagination across your entire toy line. And it comes alive at retail with really great new point-of-purchase displays, awesome art that brings to life all those awesome G1 characters that you love. It's really, really exciting to be part of a brand like this.
Great, thank you so much. Again, you'll see an awesome display that the team put together, but also check out all the toys that are downstairs. So we have about 8 minutes left, so I want to leave some time for some Q&A. So we're going to go through this next couple of slides fairly quickly, but still I think we're going to slow it down because I think you guys are excited to see these as well. Some convention exclusives that John's going to take you through. I know we're excited about the convention exclusives. And John, why don't you talk about the first one?
Yeah, I mean, we all love to come to a convention, but there's nothing more fun than come into a convention and getting something cool, right? We're proud to announce early access of RC and Titan Master Leonad, which it's actually Daniel backwards, isn't it? How clever is Hasbro? And then it also comes with a die-cast metal Ultra Magnus. Those of you who have been collecting the Chaos, the Velocitron set and the other set, those come with die-cast metal Titan Masters. This is the third die-cast metal Titan Master, which is a small Ultra Magnus head. Everybody knows that the original Headmasters cartoon had multiple Headmasters. Fans can finally get RC. RC is honestly one of my most favorite characters. Awesome new packaging. You guys can check it out in the booth. But we've also got another exciting reveal, which is the power bank. We've got, well, here we are. There's, excuse me, kind of a, what there, didn't I?
What happened?
No, nothing. Anyway,
Isn't there something else?
Awesome packaging art. Check it out.
Isn't RC something else with RC here at the convention?
Oh, that's right. That's right. The actual voice of RC will be here tomorrow. Susan, and she'll be able to sign autographs in our booth.
That's right. So everyone make sure if you have the 3A pass, come back tomorrow, and she'll be in the booth signing autographs. And then finally, I think we have one more to talk about, right?
As I started to mention already, we've got the Optimus Prime Power Bank. This is a Hascon exclusive item. It's really cool because not only does it change into a power bank, but it also actually powers your phone. So I think I'm sort of running low on life here. So,
I didn't bring mine, so.
No? Okay, so if you actually are running low on your phone, this can actually power up your phone. So it's a functioning power bank, which is a lot of fun.
And it transforms.
And it transforms. So Stan Bush once said, "You've got the touch, now you can have the power." See what I did? But fans, we got one more thing. We're going to tease something here for you. Something coming soon. Something really, really exciting. It's something big that Hisui-san and I have been working very, very hard on. So hard that we can't show you everything, but we can say you might be able to check this big guy out at New York Toy.
Yeah, it's my phone. It's my next baby.
Haven't figured out her name yet?
So again, John said New York Toy Fair, right?
New York Toy Fair.
We'll be able to see this one. So we have about 5 minutes left. I want to thank the team up here for working together and collaborating together. Both Hasbro and Takara Tomy coming together to create some awesome product. I think you guys are excited. Are you guys excited about what you saw today? And like I said, we have about 5 minutes for some questions. If anyone has any questions, feel free to stand up. The lights are kind of right there. Oh, we're going to line up over here. So right in the front over here where Ben is standing. If anyone has any questions, we have a microphone.
Oh, come on, do it.
Don't be shy. We have one coming.
Favorite color? Favorite shirt?
2 or 3 questions. We have one coming up. Maybe 2 questions.
Hi, my name is Meg, long-time Transformers fan / Mile Boy since '84.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome.
And seeing as how Takara and Hasbro are kind of, in sync with each other, are there any immediate plans to re-release or release any of the Brave or Yusha franchises, like Gal Gaiga or Brave Police Jay Decker, anything, DVD releases or toy lines or comics, anything?
It's a great question. Great question.
トランプさんと発売結構コラボレーションされてるんですけど、勇者シリーズの興味あるんですけど、勇者シリーズのDVD リリースとか、マスターとかのリリースを欧米で展開するっていうのは例えばあるでしょうか。
動画にはすぐ見ました。
Actually, you don't know about the DVD release or anything like that, product size. However, he actually designed Galgaiga. It was actually him. Back in that was 97, I believe.
Hello, my name is Christian, and I'm 12 years old. And one of my favorite Transformers is Shockwave, and I'd love to see a new one coming soon, preferably Voyager.
Okay.
So if one of those could come soon, I'd love that.
And any plans out for? Well, and I can't unfortunately reveal anything, but you do know that the Car Autonomy team in Hasbro, that's also one of our favorite Transformers, and it's been a while since a good Voyager class Shockwave. So, great suggestion, but you'll have to wait and see. Thank you. Thanks.
Hi, my name's Adam, and I love everything you showed me today, and because you showed me so many great things, I have to ask for more. The Dinobots are fantastic. Are we going to see any deco variants? I noticed you had G1 Swoop in the toy deco, but not in the cartoon deco, and haven't seen any G2 Dinobots yet. Is that something maybe we can expect to see down the road?
That's a great suggestion. We've got some, a lot of times we'll sculpt up an extra head in the mold. So we have some things planned, and they're secret right now. But no plans at the present. You guys swing by the booth and check out Swoop. Your questions might be answered, because it's pretty cool. And I guess we just have to wait and see. But you're right, there's quite a few cool variants, especially the Diacon variants as well.
Thank you. And also, I love these Cyber Command figures just hit Walgreens. I picked up Prowl the other day. Can't wait to get more.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, my name is Ben, and with Titan's Returns, you guys were able to cram so many different gimmicks in there, even beyond Headmasters. So I was wondering, how do you go through the process of designing these really intricate play patterns where each size class works with each other?
Yeah, this one I think I might flip to Mr. Hasui-san.
それぞれのクラスの体験だったりするこういうシステムをどういうふうにこのところで考えられるか。我々チームの中でデザインブリーフというものを作っていまして、それぞれどういう制約のことを作るかということを全て決めています。コンバイナーモードについては、全ての腕の長さ、全ての足の長さ、関節の位置がどこにあるかっていうのを数個全て決めてまして、この、リミットの範囲内で全て作っている。そういう制約を作った中で、その範囲内でいかに作るかということをやっているので、そのルールが徹底されているので、ちゃんとその同じものが、同じ制約のものがチームで作れる。
So when designers actually start designing a product, they go through an initial phase which is called design brief. So in the design brief stage, what they do is they create sort of a guideline based on which class it is, a Voyager class, and all the classes will have its own guidelines. How long the legs are, how long the arms are, where the joint goes, and all that is actually, there's a format. And you actually use a template to create any character to fit in that format. So based on that sort of a format and matrix, they were able to create and combine, going even across the classes.
And at Hasbro, there's a lot that goes into even the pitch to get to the design brief stage. We'll create a lot of art on that front. We talk with our marketing teams, our engineering teams, and packaging teams to really get synergy with everybody. And what we found on Power of the Primes is the more that we get these ecosystems to work together, the more we're getting new young fans into the franchise as well, which is really leading to the big success of Generations that we're seeing right now, which is very, very exciting. If you want to learn more about the Power of the Primes, swing by our panel on Sunday. We have a whole panel dedicated to the different ecosystems and how they were made.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, good question.
I think that's it. Unfortunately, that was the last question. Again, I wanted to thank the panel here, but most importantly, I want to thank everyone out in the audience. Thank you for being our fans. Thank you for loving Transformers. Thank you for being here in Rhode Island, and thank you for coming to Hascon. And with that, I think go enjoy the show. Enjoy Providence if you traveled from afar. Great seafood and lots of other things to explore here in Rhode Island. But most importantly, go check out what we have upstairs, because there's a lot of really cool stuff to take a look at. So again, thank you so much everyone for coming out, and thank you everyone up here.
And roll out.
Yeah, roll out.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again very much for your attention and joining the